Hi, everybody. This is Randy Hale. I'm a watercolor tutor for the Watermill, and I'm going to bring you a few tips on good painting techniques. So these will be handy little things to keep in mind when you're painting, and hopefully you'll find them useful. Got a few more little tips for you on painting. One thing to think about is trying to always make things work with odd numbers rather than even. Avoid spacing, repetition, or predictable patterns in our objects that we paint. And always remember, nature is never symmetrical. We always want to try to think about working against our natural tendencies to create patterns and make things asymmetrical. So my little rule of three about this is always, whenever you have a chance, if you're painting a group of trees or some people, work with odd numbers. Keep them oddly spaced, don't evenly space them apart. Our natural tendency is to always try to, we don't even realize we do this, but we space things evenly because the human brain loves predictability. We love patterns. And so as painters, we have to work against that. And then just remember, as a third rule there is nature really is never symmetrical. Everything that happens in nature is random and asymmetrical. I got two lonely trees here. These lonely little trees, kind of evenly spaced. But if we could put another tree in here as you're painting trees and make it an odd number, it's just going to look so much better. Maybe what we do, if I take a small brush and I put a dead tree leaning against these a little bit, it's in the background and it's got some things in there that just break that evenness up. We can come in and get a little bit of greenery on there if we want, but it just all of a sudden breaks up the predictability of a pattern. And if we can get in the habit of doing that, it's going to be a lot better looking and feel more natural. Then the other thing you can do is take a larger round brush or something and create an opportunity for something to counterbalance what we do on one side of the painting. Maybe we've got a big series of rocks over in here. And again, I try to lose some of the edges in shadow and maybe just leave a few little lighter areas. But if we can come in with something back in here, it is always asymmetrical. It creates a counterbalance to what's going on the other side of your painting, and it feels more natural. And it doesn't have to be really detailed because we want the viewer to maybe look at these trees, and this is simply a counterbalance in the painting to hold things together. Another example that I've got these people here, and look at this. They're all exactly spaced apart. If we were to take a little bit of a brush stroke here, I could accentuate this and show you with these lines. You can see they're all pretty evenly spaced. So when we start painting people or crowds or fence posts, whatever it might be, come back in and create some shapes that basically might have some overlap to them. We've got one guy way in the back here, and possibly he's going to have another person in front of him, and the colors from one might bleed right into the other, and we will lose some of the detail between them. We'll let some of the colors from their face run right into their clothes because it pushes them into the back. And then if we have somebody up closer, maybe they've got a little more definition. We can get more defined, little darker value. I'm going to bring up some cobalt here for his jacket, perhaps. And then maybe he's got some brown pants, and we just take water and we pull that all together. These guys back here, maybe they're all just kind of overlapping. There's somebody that's a negative shape here in the middle, and then they've got a child or something in front of them, and that person's down here. But the object is we want these things to all feel like they're connected and they have relations to each other so that we don't feel like there's just all evenly spaced people, all the same definition, the same value. As we come across with grounding these guys, you don't have to even worry about their feet placement. But if I take this same dark little line that I used above and I put a line over each person, you can see the randomness and how I'm using some odd numbers, some even numbers. Maybe we got somebody but down here, a child or something. But it breaks it up and it connects them. And really all we need to see is a few things to indicate where these people might be, such as their legs disappearing into shadows, lost edges again. But it's a nice way to make things feel more random, more natural. Odd numbers better than even. Avoid spacing things evenly and keep it asymmetrical. So always keep that in thought when you're painting. We know as painters that we're going to fall into the trap, if we're not thinking about it, of painting things symmetrically and in patterns and repeating them evenly. So we have to work against that. So happy painting.